We are now on the air. We'll be done by 11:30, by 1:30. Wednesdays are, you know, flex days, even though it's so, I'm okay with that. Even though it's virtual, we're still flex days. Keep the schedule. You know, once we get a schedule set, let's keep it because it's so, keep changing all the time. All right, so let me share the screen. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And this is, there's nothing new today. I'm going to give you an overview of Packet 5, and I'm going to talk about like housekeeping stuff. And let me open up this thing here. We are now recording, so don't turn your video on. Okay, so you see the screen. Test 4B is postponed. It says till Thursday. So when you're looking on Canvas, you're looking at the due dates for the in-person students. Canvas, okay, yes, you can make groups on the Canvas grades. You can make them groups. But if you do that, it won't sync, as I found out the hard way. It will not sync to Infinite Campus. So you can't, I was trying to pull you guys out of that virtual stuff, and now that wouldn't sync. So I had to make it all to everyone, and now I'm still having trouble trying to get everything to sync. It's not a good thing. So I cannot make a separate due date for you guys. So for them, for in class, it's the 18th. For virtual, you just have to understand this. For virtual, it's the 19th, 1 p.m. Okay, that's when it's available. Now, okay, hold on. I told you that I wasn't gonna PDF this to you because it's the big kahuna. I don't like that big kahuna getting out there. But now with the crazy weather and the crazy roads, I would hate to see some student get into a wreck because I forced them to come to my porch to get it. So still going to be kind of nasty next week. So I will send a PDF. I'm just going to trust you guys that you don't just put this everywhere. I don't know why you would. I'll send a PDF of the test, of test 4B. Now, I guess you'll have to PDF it back to me, but if you PDF it back to me, don't take a picture of it. Because I had some students take pictures. I can't read them. I can't, the lighting's terrible. I can't read half your answers. You've got to, you're gonna have to convert that. Take a picture of it, convert it to PDF. If you're on an iPad, just go right to PDF. And then send me a PDF, and then I'll print that off because I'm going to write on it, and then I'll grade it that way. Blue Day, I don't know. Well, you'll have the PDF, so I suppose in Blue Day you can just like you did last time, just read those problems in PDF with that. Black and blue does not translate well to virtual, but I guess I'm going to stop. The only thing that still is a problem is packets, right? Because I can see a test, that's 2 quick picks, PDF them, send it. But, and if you have an iPad, you don't need to print it off at all, just do it all on iPad. But if now it's 11 pages, you know, plus cover sheet and all, and you're gonna PDF me all that, that's a mess. So packets, we'll deal with it next week, but I haven't figured out packets yet. I've given up. I've given in to the test. I'm just going to let it out there, whatever. But packets, okay, here we go. You're going to have to be a little tech savvy here. I will accept, I'll always accept it paper copy on my porch, but I'm not requiring it, okay? I can't do that anymore. School said, ASCII, you got a liability issue here. Because a parent complained, and none of your parents, but a parent complaining. Weird, but I get it. I mean, I know that some of you don't want to be out. I get it. So for them, I said, well, in that case, I was only PDF. So it's only fair if I'm going to do it for that person, I should do it for everybody, right? Be fair. But hi, Eric. So we're talking about logistics of the test next week. So I'm going to PDF you the test. But the question is on Friday next week, Friday, 1 o'clock, Friday. And you have till Saturday at 6, usual, to get me back the PDF. But you have 1 hour to take the test, just to be fair. You all are very, very fair. Yeah, so okay, I will accept the packet as a PDF if it is one file. So you take all the pictures of the sheets, or if it's iPad, you're already set, and you put them all into one set of PDFs. And so I don't have to open up, 11, 12. I'll download it. I'm not going to download it. Don't send it to me through Canvas because you got to download that on thing. Just send it to me through email. And then I'll just open up. Then when I open it up, everything comes up. I can look on my screen. I can open them. I can open them all up. I can look at it, open one thing, look at it, grade it, put a grade on. Okay, all electronic. So we're going to try and eliminate the porch from the equation, which I know a lot of you are happy about. My wife will be happy too, because it's half the time she hears people walk around the porch, scares her. So, yeah. So I guess I'm talking myself into, now I'll always allow the porch. I'll always allow you to do the porch. Okay. If you'd rather do paper copies, you don't want to PDF everything. You don't have a printer. Well, if you don't have a printer, and then if you don't have a printer or an iPad, now you're really stuck. Because I'm sending you a PDF, you got to take the test. I'd rather buy an iPad. If I were you, I'd buy an iPad before I'd buy a printer. I was talking to Gibbon about this earlier. You guys are going to need an iPad in college. Okay, I hate to tell you this. You're going to need an iPad in college because that's where it's going. And I think within 3 years, everyone will do everything on iPad. At high school as well. Paper, pencil, gone. Which is fine with me. So I'm not saying go out and buy an iPad, but if you were thinking about it, that would make it much more convenient, not just for this class, but for college and other classes. That way, you'd have to just put the PDFs on Notability or something, import the PDFs, work it right there on the iPad, hit export, and export it to me. So, it's something to think about for the future. Maybe ask for your birthday or something. Yeah. There ought to be an educator discount on that. Anyway, so that's next week. Let's talk about this week. So what I'm going to spend the rest of my day doing is preparing packet 5. I thought I had till Monday, and I don't. Oh, before I talk about packet 5, here's something that I got this from last year. I was getting ready for packet 5, and I was looking over some notes. Hey, Brandon, I'm PDFing you the test next week, Brandon, on Friday at 1 o'clock. I'm sending out the PDF. So you don't have to come by my porch. I'm making it so nobody has to come by the porch ever again if they don't want to. Okay. Although I enjoy seeing you guys. I sit up here on my perch and I see you pull up, and my wife says I run downstairs at 90 miles an hour just to see you for a minute, because I hate not being able to say hello and at least have a conversation with you. So I run down, throw my mask on, and run out the porch, hoping I can catch you before you go. And we can still do that if you want to. But if you just want to keep it all PDF, keep it casual, man, that's cool too. So this came off last year, and this was what a student did in their notebook. And since the notes are due next week as well, everything's due next week for packet 4, I thought, well, I'll show them this. So I'm recording this, right? Yeah. So this is Now, this is probably too late for pack of 4. Back on 4, some of you may have already done this. I bet Miranda did this. This is like something she would do. Maybe Rose, I don't know. Maybe Sophia probably. I mean, I don't know. But maybe all of you did it. But you print off PDF of that. Sorry, Pepper's been a real pill. I'll bring her in. Pepper kept us up last night. Actually kept Jamie up till 2. She was out there in the backyard because Pepper has dementia, and so she gets very agitated at night, and she can't see and she can't hear, and so she and her teeth kill her because we can't fix her teeth, because if you do that, you got to put her out. And the vet said last time when they put her out to clean her teeth, her heart stopped. So you can't, that was years ago. So you cannot put her out. So you can't clean her teeth. Her teeth are hurting. You know, she's in a lot of pain. So, but she still has enough. We feel like she has enough. She looks forward to her walks, and she likes to curl up in the covers. So there's still she has enough happy times, but to keep her with us. But she is 18. Anyway, so she was up, kept us up. We kept Jamie up mostly last night. And so now she's, I'm kind of dealing with the day manager here. So I'm going to have to give her to Jamie here, and then I'll be right back. Okay. So hold that thought. Take a look at the screen. This is what somebody did. I think it's a good idea for packet 5. If you haven't done a packet 4, don't worry about it. But packet 5, like what this is, a 5A is going to have the practice problems. 6A, test 6A is going to have the practice problems. And then you have 5B and 6B. But it's good to I'll PDF them, right? So you print out the PDFs, and then you can work them right there in your notebook, and you get credit. Okay. This person got credit because they were organized, neat. I could read it. Okay, so it's just a good idea. And remember, this notebook, and I strongly suggest, if you're still doing loose notes, I strongly suggest you go out and buy a $3 notebook from, you don't have to get this fancy, this is like a $15 notebook. You don't have to get that fancy thing. Don't get a spiral notebook. I mean, get a decent, Office Max has really good ones for like $3.99. The pages that are stuck in there. So, because this is your college textbook, that and the equation sheets. So anyway, that's my suggestion for 5A, test 6A. And then the other thing we did last year, I required that they listen to a podcast, at least one podcast, one science podcast per packet. And so that got to be a thing. It's really cool because we had some great discussions about them, and I'd give them links to podcasts. And so I'm not requiring it this year because of COVID and all, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. If you will, like Neil deGrasse has good ones. Joe Rogan's got good podcasts if he's interviewing a scientist. He's a really good interviewer. I love Joe Rogan. He's kind of off lately, but I think his interviews of Brian Cox are excellent. I've talked about it before. Neil deGrasse is good on there. Brian Cox is exceptional. You want a good interview about science, he's amazing. So if you will listen to those and then write a paragraph or two, this is about what I want to see, about a half a page. I forget who did this. I know, sorry, it's blurry, but about a half a page of notes. You'll get, you get more credits for your notes. So I don't do Boltzmanns anymore, but so that's another suggestion. If you're trying to beef up your notes. Okay, now let's talk about the future, which is tomorrow, actually. It's supposed to be Monday. But now tomorrow, we're going to start with, one more thing. Before we do that, the question came up this morning from kids, are we going to be in school? Not as important to you because you're virtual anyway. Everybody on here is virtual. Yeah. So, but for them, they were really, am I going to school? I don't think, in my opinion, I got to check, they haven't checked the weather lately, but in my opinion, we're not going to be there tomorrow. Friday's still 50-50, Monday's probably out because there's a huge storm supposedly going to be here Sunday, Monday. Therefore, probably Tuesday's out, which means we'll all be remote. And then Wednesday is in my opinion, a week from today would be the first day we come back. I may be totally wrong. So for you, it's just typical. We'll still meet. Like tomorrow, we're going to meet from 1:10 to 2, like we always do, 1:10 to 2. But we're starting tomorrow with this packet 5, which I have not. I'm right in this weekend. I'm sorry, not this weekend. Today now, I'm going to spend all afternoon and all evening trying to put together packet 5. Okay, all my thoughts, get them all in documents. I'll PDF everything. This is a screenshot, but here's 5.1, but I'll PDF everything so it's on so you could print them off. I will make I'll make copies because in class I'm going to hand out the copies eventually, and I'll put some on the front porch. Once again, front porch now is optional, but I will put all the PDFs out by 9 o'clock tonight, and I'm guessing 9 or 10, might be midnight, but eventually all the PDFs will be on there. I have 9 of them so far. We're going to go through each one of them quickly, but it'll be about 11 or 12 PDFs. Let me just show you what's coming. This will get us all the way to spring break, I think, in that range. Okay, starting tomorrow. So, oh, and by the way, yeah, Thursday, Friday next week. Everything's the same. It's just that this Thursday, Friday got moved to next Thursday, Friday. That's all. And then that Thursday, Friday, or that Monday, Tuesday got moved to tomorrow and Friday. So we're going to start off with projectile motion. And projectile motion is the last hurrah of kinematics. Really, the course probably should just be called kinematics because we spend so much time. I get flack about this, but we spend so much time understanding kinematics. And I beat myself up over this as well, but it's a study of motion, and that's one of the hardest things to get a high school student to start to buy into. And it's the thing about kinematics is it's things you see, dropping balls, throwing. Now it's projectile motion, throwing a basketball into a hoop, throwing a baseball, football, whatever. All sports, right? Golf, ballistics. People going through the air, anything. You throw your cat off your bed. That's all projectile motion. So it's a combination of X, going along, up and down inclines, whatever, and free fall. So like so far, we can just talk about things going this way, we can speed up, slow down. We can even do cubic functions. We're going up and down inclines. We can handle that. We can handle dropping things, free fall. We can handle throwing things in the air to bring it back down. But now what we're going to do is we're going to put it all together. We're going to synthesize. One of the hardest things to do for students in physics is to synthesize all this information you've learned. You learn little bits and pieces of information. There was a reason why I did that. I'm not trying to waste your time. Now we're going to start putting it all together in projectile motion. So we're in my world, there are 3 types of projectile motion. There's type 1, type 2A, type 2B. Okay, because once again, it's the idea of categorizing, right? Like in kinematics, we say red, we say orange, we say blue, we say green, we say pink to put your mind, oh yeah, these are pink equations. Same thing with projectile motion. We say type 1, type 2A, type 2B. Every one of those has the rules that they follow. And so type 1, you throw something off horizontally. We'll learn that tomorrow. That's the easiest kind of projectile motion. Something rolls off a table, a horizontal table. You roll a ball off a table. Then it's going to go a certain distance. Gravity's going to work on it, blah, blah, blah. Parabolic kind of motion. And so that's type 1. And that's this whole worksheet, I think, is type 1, the front and the back. We'll spend tomorrow. Now, normally, I have a whole demo on this, and I don't know if I have it. You know what? Boom. I think I have an old video of it. I'll look for that video tonight. But it's a whole thing with beads and all. And then we bring in P-Boy. And I'm not going to get up to the high school. I don't think P-Boy would translate over to video very well anyway. So that's a whole thing. So I'll probably just lose it this year on that. It's too bad. One of the highlights. Anyway, so tomorrow we'll do this mostly. We're going to another planet. And I don't only have the demo, but I'll just have to walk you through it. And then we're going to learn some stuff about that planet. We're going to determine the gravity of that planet just by shooting a little toy red dot. Okay, so that's tomorrow. We'll start to learn how to handle type 1 projectile motions. And then we'll also work probably problem 1 and 2 or so tomorrow. And then on Friday, we'll finish this up. We'll probably homework or something. We'll finish up that. And then on Friday, we'll start this one. And now this is one of the top 10 hardest sheets of the year. I'm just warning you, this is number 2 in packet 5, which is Friday, probably this week we started. This is one of the hardest problems we'll work. Up to that point, it probably is the hardest problem up to that point until we get to the back, number 6 and number 9, I mean. And number 9 will be it's a top 10 hardest problem of the year. There's a TT, top 10 problems. This is the top 10 problem. We haven't even, let's put it this way, we haven't even encountered a top 10 problem yet. Maybe the derivatives of this cosine function and sine function was top 10 because we were trying to do it online. But to understand but this is a top 10 problem. I don't know if we'll get to a Friday, maybe Monday. Okay, so that's a coming. And then the third one is, now we got to go back, and these problems are so nasty that every problem, to properly show the graph, you need 5 graphs for every problem. Oh, you're going to love that one. That's probably Tuesday next week. We'll get to that. And they're front and back to that. That right there is a top 10er right there. That's a top 10. So we're getting all this things, boom, boom, top 10 problems are coming at you. So the class now takes a whole nother level. We're going to kick it up a notch. We kicked it up a notch with derivatives and power rule. Now we're going to kick it up another notch with these projectile motions. Physics finally starts to get interesting for me. Packet 5 and 6. And physics, as I was telling a kid this morning, physics is like a train coming out of the station, kind of slow. Chook, chook, chook. First packet is really, it takes forever to get anything done. Second packet, now we're at the 5th and 6th packet. We go lightning speed. 6th packet is just, it's a race to the finish. Tell you the truth, it won't be the finish this year. The finish will be in June. I'm committing to 12 lessons in June, 3 lessons a week, and these are optional, okay? 3 lessons a week, 4 weeks, okay? 45 minutes a lesson. And we're gonna cover what we can cover. But if you're taking AP Physics next year, okay, raise your hand. Hit the little hand icon if you are considering AP Physics for next year. Okay, Brandon definitely should take it. Eric, obviously, blowing the top off my class. All you guys. I don't see one person on here. That would not. And I appreciate Sophia. Why aren't you? Oh, sorry, I won't say anything. Takaki, you should take it. Evan, come on. Everybody in here would do well in AP Physics. Next year it'll be either you're not committing to it. I didn't take a picture of that. Well, I'm recording this, but don't worry about it. Mr. Pentecost, who will now be in his 3rd or 4th year. It takes about 4 or 5 years to become a good AP teacher. And I think he's getting to be really good at it now. Kids love him. If he is in Africa, he may be in Africa next year. If that's the case, then it'll probably be me. It'll be me or it'll be somebody else. But it could possibly be Miss Terry. It could even be Pal, but I wouldn't be Pal. It'd be me. It'd be Ryan Pentecost. It'd possibly a new person coming in. He's cool. But if it's me, I'm telling you right now, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be Physics 2. By that time, we'll all be together in a classroom, and it'll be fun. We'll have foosball, ping pong. We got the chess tournaments going. We got puzzles out there. We got guest speakers. We got rocketry. It'll be a blast. I'll be looking forward to that. Doing all kinds of cool stuff. It'll be fun. But I want to call it Physics 2, which is a continuation. I have enough material to last at least 2 years. So it's a continuation of where we left off in June. We'll just keep going. It'll involve calculus. It'll be hard-nosed physics. I won't pull any punches. You will be ready for the AP Physics exam in May of 2022. You'll be more than ready. It won't be necessarily a textbook. You'll have a textbook for reference at home. You won't bring it to class. And it'll just be a blast. It'll be my last year. So we'll be having fun. Cool demos. It'll be fun. Anyway, so that's AP Physics. The other strongly recommend, since it's coming up, they tell me it's coming up. I'm going to go past my time. I'm sorry. If you have to go, go. But the other thing is AP Bio would have to be number 2. To be honest with you, AP Bio is probably number 1. Don't tell me I said that. But if we that's a big if. If we have Dr. Fournette, then you have any inkling towards biology, I know some of you want to be doctors and all this kind of stuff. Okay, then you have got to take AP Biology. You have to. Now I did not like biology in high school. I was more of a math science person. I was mathy, so I would have done it. But this guy, he makes me love biology. Just my conversations with him. I hated biology in high school because I had a terrible teacher. But this guy, he's you don't come around very often. I don't know if we're going to have him next year. He's going to get pulled in by a university. He's has a PhD. He's from Canada. I mean, the guy's just he's just taken the whole thing by storm. He's the best. I can say it now. I think Eileen Grabowski at Norman North's amazing. I've known Eileen for 40 years. She's amazing. But just as far as engaging with students and on their level and smart and clever and fun and nice and great labs, imaginative, Dr. Fournette is the best. I can say this. We've had some good AP bio teachers. He's the best we've ever had in Omaha High. He's probably, I would say, the best in Oklahoma. Best AP bio, maybe the best in this part of the country. So it's pretty high praise, but I'm serious. You need to have that 1 or 2 teachers that changes your life. And he could be that guy for you. So if at all possible, now the question is, should I take 2 AP courses? If you're a junior, you're going, well, I kind of like AP Physics too. You could do both. It's happened. I would not take much more. I wouldn't load up 5 AP courses, but at the most 4. Now, 1 AP science course you could throw in there without much trouble would be AP Environmental Science. Amy's amazing what she's doing with that class. She's really, once again, kids love her. She is creative. AP Environmental Science can change your life. I've seen it change students' lives. Then now they go into environmental science because of that class. You learn about the climate and all that. She's really good projects, fun. You're active. That's a fun class to take. AP Chemistry is a good class. I taught it for 10 years. It's the thing, okay, here's the problem with AP Chemistry. It's hard, and even Powell, D. Powell will admit this, and Miranda's probably taking it. You taking it, Miranda? Are you taking it now? I got the check.
Took it last year.
You took it last year. So Miranda can say, and Katie took it and all. It's a good course. I mean, you learn a heck of a lot. but you're probably the exception to the rule. I mean, most people just don't absorb things as fast as you do. But that exam is really hard. I didn't have a lot of, I mean, we got 3s and 4s on it sometimes, but the only time I got a lot of success on my kids on the AP chemistry exam was one year we did a 3rd year. I kept them for a 3rd year. So we had AP Chem 3, and they all got 4s and 5s because we knew it backwards and front. But that took us 3 years. And so poor D Powell, he's got to try and do it in 2. And then with COVID and all, he's gonna be pushing you guys to get you through the material. It's a lot. If you just love chemistry, okay, yeah. But you can talk to me individually. And D Powell, I mean, you know, you got to love him. Some students don't care for him. I don't know why. He can tell you his mind. I happen to love the guy. In fact, I'm giving him a big gift card tomorrow for all the work he's done. And you know, we've all written him letters, so he's amazing. And he's a hard worker too. So he's a very good teacher as well. But I'm just saying, if it was AP Bio versus AP Bio versus AP Chem versus AP Physics, the order I'd do them in is probably Bio, Physics, then Chemistry. And the reason is Physics, you got a real shot at a 4 or 5, fairly easily. And that gets you out of a whole semester of mechanical. And that's the one they weed out students on in college for engineering. They come after you with both barrels in that course. And you wouldn't even take that course. So questions on that before, I know I'm going way over, but questions on what AP courses, science courses, I don't know about anything else. Of course, AP Calc is great. Brandon can attest to that. But AP Calc is good. You should take AP Calc. I mean, any questions on AP Science?
Not a question, but I loved Dr. Burnett last year. I took him for AP Bio and it was amazing.
Yes, there you go. There's a witness. And Rose is just one. I mean, you talk to anybody, and you know, I was jealous of him at first. Like, how's this guy so good? And then last year I started we'd do things together, and oh my gosh, I see why. Now I love biology. And I was a true hater. I didn't hate it, but I didn't find it interesting. But man, so, and he's gotten better, by the way, Rose. He's even gotten better. So he'll get better next year. So if he's around, that would be the one I'm trying to get him 2 sections. Yeah. Okay, so if anybody else has a question, you can always, and Miranda can also give you information on AP Chemistry, Rose, and AP Bio. If you have more questions, you can just message him on Facebook if they don't mind, a direct message if you want. Brandon can talk to you about AP Calculus. He was in AB, now he's in BC, so he knows both. And other people. You guys should help each other, right? Be a little community. You don't need me. Okay, so let's wrap this up and then I'll stop recording. Yeah, I personally, one last thing. Personally, I don't think you can go wrong. The one way you can go wrong next year is you don't take any AP Science. I think that's wrong. That's wrong. You know, you can't go wrong if you take an AP Science. Maybe 2. So here, then this is us in the hallway. Now we're shooting. We have this $175 launchers. And I kept doing grants, and I got a bunch of them. So we're going to shoot these. It's kind of fun. We spend a couple of days out in the hallway learning, and you really find out if you know what you're doing. So that's coming up in a couple of weeks. And then, I had to go and ruin everything. There it is. Whoops. There it is. That's like the 5th sheet or something of the packet. And sure enough, there's gold standard. So gold standard gave you a break in packet 4, but it's back with a vengeance in packet 5. This is the hardest gold standard sheet of the year, probably. And the back looks like that. So these are some nasty. There's a top 10 in there somewhere. That may be a top 10. So that's coming. And then we get into finally putting together inertia, Newton's first law, with velocity. And so that's called momentum. Remember we said momentum is moving inertia. And so we get into conservation of momentum. Now we're talking in a few weeks, things colliding. So we'll start off with things colliding and bouncing right back off, or coming along and hit on air tracks. We'll do a little air track. So we'll do all that, and then we'll get this conservation of momentum. That's called the yellow. That's the yellow equations, where we're bringing in mass and velocity together finally, and then we get into these collisions, these JVCs, JACs. The drawings get more complicated. And then the back, this is a hard one. There's some hard ones in here. That right there is probably a top 10. That's a top 10 problem. So that. Looking at collisions, and then we get into, that's 1D collisions, and then we get into two-dimensional collisions, and that really is, here's 2D collisions. Their first sheet's looks like that. The next sheet looks like this, where now things are hitting each other, glancing off. So we'll play glance ball, and glance ball is a fun game we play in the hallway. It's one of the better days of class. Well, you guys won't be, I'm sorry. Maybe that's after spring. No, that won't be after. That'll be before spring break. I thought, well, maybe, you guys will be back. I've had my first shot. I'm getting my second shot March 2nd. So I'll be down to wearing, instead of 1 or 2 or 3 masks, I'll be down to wearing 1 mask after spring break, thank goodness. But then we get into these collisions. That right there is a top 10 hardest problem of the semester, of the year. And so that is a nasty old thing. So we'll do that. And then on the back, now we're going to use head to tail, which you're going to say, please let me do head to tail, because the other way is too hard. It takes too much work. So we'll do that on collisions. And then after that comes duck walking, and we'll duck walk in the hallway. You guys won't, you'll virtually duck walk. But that brings up the Newton's laws, and then I'll bring all that into everything, into the mix. And then we'll get into free body diagrams for real. And then we'll spend the rest of the year on free body diagrams, and we'll talk about where work is, where work comes in, we'll talk about integrals, and we'll introduce integrals, the idea of how to integrate things to find energy. And then we'll get into power and horsepower. We'll go run stadium steps. You will, figuratively. We'll get into torque on things, force at distance, Hooke's law, get back to springs again. We'll throw in some more simple harmonic motion. Now, some of the stuff's going to bleed into June. We're just not, there's no way, especially with this remote stuff. I'm going slow on remote. So there's no way we're getting all this stuff by the end of May. So this will spill into June. That's kind of my safety valve. And so that'll be taped. It'll be available to you if you have to work in June or you're wherever, you can't get to the internet. You just don't want to. And if you're not going to take physics ever again in your life, then who cares? But if you want to know the finish of the story, like I'm telling a story, it takes me 10 months to tell it, I guess. But I'll be done telling the story at the end of June. And then you're ready for chapter 2, which is AP. More than ready if you come in June. If you skip on June, then you're gonna be a little tougher. But I'll release the videos to you. I'm gonna keep them private, but I'll release them to you. Okay, so that's an overview of packet 5 and packet 6. I'll have these PDFs available for you to download and print off. I will have a paper copy on my porch, but it won't be till I can get back to a copy machine, which might be next week. I mean, even the regular kids now have to do PDFs. Okay. Well, I'm going to let you go. I've said too much. Let me stop the sharing. I'll stick around with any questions. I'm going to stop recording. Anybody have a good question before I stop recording? Okay, people are leaving.